You know, it's funny. One of the big things that we're taught as CrossFit coaches is a Form B for intensity, which is something that we preach and practice for sure at CrossFit Los Angeles. But there's a big piece of this missing. And something that precedes form would be breath. And over the weekend, I was really lucky in that both Shara and myself, as well as 4 of the CrossFit LA coaches, were able to train with Wim Hof, who is moving the needle very considerably on breath technique and how to breathe diaphragmatically. Now, there's a lot of methods. We teach one that I learned from one of my mentors, Mark Devine, called box breathing, that was passed on to him, and that's not necessarily new. But Wim Hof's technique is very interesting in that it can quickly change pH levels, SpO2 levels, so there's a lot of raw science and data behind it. And what's significant for people at CrossFit LA, for example, is that that can help with performance. I'm interested in it helping with a quality of life. I'm also interested in, over time, sharing how good breath technique can help posture. Posture can help movement. Movement can help efficiency. And efficiency can help output/performance. And last week, if you've been following these blogs, one of the big things that I talk about, or was talking about, was that growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. And I think one of the traps that we all fall into, me especially, is that result orientation all the time. And that can be a little bit toxic to actual and very genuine growth and development. So what's really interesting about some of this breath work that we studied yesterday with Wim and Brian Mackenzie is that there's not only a lot of raw science behind it, but we saw performance improvements and recovery improvements when people were using the techniques versus when they weren't using the techniques. Okay, well, it might seem obvious, but it is also very challenging and requires a lot of discipline. So for that reason, in the coming months, I'm going to be offering some free classes for anybody that wants to come and breathe with me and your fellow coaches. And over the next several months, we're all going to be doing some continued education with Wim and Brian Mackenzie specifically on how to help our movement be improved through not just posture, but stabilizing our posture through proper breathing technique. And there's a lot of information in this world, but we want to try to condense it and make it as useful as possible moving forward. So I'm going to share a link in this blog, and you'll see that down below. If you're interested in Wim and who he is and the technique that several of your coaches and myself were exposed to over the weekend, I highly encourage you to take a look at this episode of Vice. It's fascinating, and not only that, you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to be seeing some, if not a lot of his work seep into the CFLA lexicon over the next several months and years to come. Again, onward and upward, you guys, building the school of mastery one breath at a time. Breath precedes the movement, which hopefully precedes the output, and that is a good alignment of principles. Hopefully we can keep those principles together. Simple in theory, hard to execute, but that's the path we're on. School of Mastery. Love you guys. Peace.